So, hello to everybody out there. This is not a normal stream that I typically do, but uh, uh, for everybody who gets annoyed with Disney and DC and everything, because of the shit of some of the shit that they think that we should just like because they think we should like it. Ah, crap! Damn it! And I accidentally had it up in the background for myself, and I started hearing me. Okay, I'm
Oh,
now.
I've done that so many times.
Yeah. Okay, dang it! I had nice little pattern going, and then blah. Okay, so to keep that going, and instead of just taking what they think that we should want, and it behooves us to actually take a look at the indie creators out there, who who are more likely to listen to what people want because they're not paying because they don't need to pay attention to their ESG scores. I mean, it's we don't need to worry about that. No, I mean we do need to still take a look at their content and stuff. So, that's why I have Outlaw Nights, aka Fusebox, aka Ben, aka anything that is not insulting, and I have him
Yes,
on
indeed.
to talk to me about his new about his new comic called Outlaw Nights. It's Genesis of a Renegade, Part Two. So to be completely honest, everybody, I don't know anything about his comic, and I specifically did not ask him very many questions pre-stream. So every question that I ask is going to be a genuine question. Nothing is scripted here, and anybody who's typically on my show knows that I suck at scripts. Anyway, I'm ADD all the way, dude.
Yeah,
So
me too.
since I assume you've been pitching it, do you have a pitch that you normally start out with?
Well, yeah, I break it down pretty well, I would say. Essentially, this story takes place in the 31st century. Humanity has begun colonizing into outer space, and it is very much the discovery of the New World 2.0, as the nations of Earth are all at each other's throats, competing over territory and resources. It's a chaotic and hectic time period to be alive. Um, Big Brother has gotten pretty big, but the problem is with the expansion into outer space, Earth's governments can't lock it down. They can't keep control. So as a result, you got a bunch of colonies that are rebelling, you got a bunch of colonies that have struck out on their own, and as you might imagine, in the midst of this, there has been a boom in piracy. As in, a
Yep.
new golden age of piracy has dawned, and so crime is at an all time high. And I mean, it is a hectic time. And
Hence
so, in the
Outlaw.
midst, yep, yes, indeed. And
Okay.
in the midst of all this is our main character, Cyrus Lawson, who has had a pretty hectic childhood. And he moved to a very small, out of the way, insignificant colony called Therese. And he's gone there, he's joined the colony guard there. So he's basically kind of trying to live out like a life like a small town sheriff, and he's not expecting a lot of trouble. But unfortunately, right at the beginning of issue 1, that dream is ripped right from under him as the
'Cause-
pirates of the ship Hazard have invaded his settlement, and they're looking for data that's going to lead to a treasure. And this treasure is something that everybody has their eyes on, governments and pirates alike. So it is a rat
oh
race
God.
in the making.
Okay.
And without giving too much of issue 1 away, our boy Cyrus is kidnapped by these pirates. And so now issue 2 picks up, where Cyrus has to learn how to survive in the underworld of the 31st century. And He's got to get over his very rigid black and white sense of morality because not everything is as clear cut as he thinks it is.
Okay, so I've got a question here for you, which I've always wondered, not just about you, but about a lot of the indie comics that go out on Kickstarter. The, the first issues, it's obvious how a person can get into it, but if you're getting into it on the second issue, is there a way to actually still get the first issue?
Yes, absolutely. It is available on this campaign. One of the things I like about Kickstarter is that everything that they everything that they do, like in terms of their products, get you can list it all out as add-ons. So it's like you don't whenever you click on a specific reward, you can add things onto it that you want. So issue 1 is
Ah,
available both physical and digital.
okay. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Uh, n- n- I, n- I, n- I believe I've got this being shared right now, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So this is what you're talking about, where you pick the stuff you want, and it can have issue one on here. Good. That's always good to see. Honestly, I got Common America with a very similar with a very similar sort of deal because I was like, I don't want to get your new one when I don't know what the hell's going on, and then I saw that they had the digital thing for the stuff going backwards. It's like, okay, this works. Okay, yeah. And so that answers one question very well. So I'd say even if you don't know anything about him or this, it is still useful it's still something you something you can get. And holistic healer, I do see you. I don't really know why you're saying you want to heal you. I mean, I didn't really respond to that because I don't really know how to. Well, that's cool. You might have actually gotten a sale. That's really cool
Hell
if
yeah.
that's the case. Thank you. So, uh, 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 another question that I was thinking while you're giving the description, they're out colonizing. Are they able to? Is this kind of a Serenity type of deal, Firefly slash Serenity sort of deal, where they haven't gotten out of the solar system, or are they actually or are they able to get past the solar system yet?
They've actually branched out beyond the solar system, but it's still not like we're not up to like Star Trek level of civilization. It's like the colonies are all very few and far between.
Okay. So no hyperspace is type travel yet.
I'm gonna have something similar to that, just because you can't go too far in space without
Yeah.
losing a lot of time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I always like asking that kind of question because was even within the same solar system, and light speed would still take a while to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
That people don't really think about just how big the solar system is. I mean, actually, just for the hell of it, I don't know. So, how many light years across is the solar system? So I'm just looking that up.
It's good that you're
I
looking it up because I don't know.
I did mention that I'm a tad random, didn't I?
I think it works.
Okay, Google. Okay, it it is 0.00127 light years. Well, now let's see about how many hours that is. Let's let's take out a calculator. I don't need to ask Google that question. So 365 times times 24 is how many hours there are. So now let's just multiply that by 0.00127. Okay, so oh that so that would come out to 11.12 light hours. So if you were able to go at light speed, it would take you approximately a half day. Now, mind you, at that point we're dealing with Einstein's theory of relativity, and that's always fun. And I have not done any of those equations for a long time, so I'm not going to even try to come up with the appropriate sort of thing about, well, how old would you be if you with the time dilation?
Good lord.
I'm a little bit of a geek. Can you tell?
It's good because I'm not enough of a geek. So, we need to balance it out.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and so what when you say that there's not a lot of colonies, when you say that, are the colonies like a large amount of space on land, or like they're colonizing the planet? Like, is it like
You
is like the size of a city? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're each colony is usually about the size of a city, maybe a little bit larger depending on how habitable the planet is.
Okay, I'm really not sure what's going on with this Nightbot in the comments here.
I was just assuming it was trolling.
Yeah, I mean the one rule that I would typically have is no spam, and that's kind of spam.
Good lord.
So yeah, Nightbot, if you keep doing that, I am going to time you out. Just fair warning, because it makes so that if someone else were to come in, I might not notice them.
Yeah, like
So
that. This is the first time I've encountered this kind of trolling on YouTube.
uh, it's not my first time, but honestly, it's relatively benign, so that's why I was mostly ignoring it. I've had people come on being a lot nastier than that. It's been a while though.
Lordy.
Yeah. Okay. So, how 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 many pages is the comic? I mean, I suppose that I can actually look, but part of the point of doing this is so that you can actually say.
Well, each issue is a 25 pages long. Uh, it was originally going to be double that. Originally, issues 1 and 2 were actually issue 1, but I ended up having to cut it in half in order to make it cost effective because part of the one downside to having the fantastic artwork that we have is that it is expensive.
I mean, honestly, the cover looks really good.
Oh yeah, that was
So,
done by Jay Krager.
and I suppose that, yep, I suppose that that's one of the other things that I should ask. I'm assuming I'm assuming that you were the writer, right?
Yep.
And and are there any other artists in it, or is it just him?
The interior artwork is all being done by Juanito from Dwarves vs. Lions. And all of our colors are being done by this awesome colorist from Brazil called Marcos Martins.
Okay, cool. And one sec. Hi, hi to Topher. And it's good to see you. Soon to be stranger. Cool.
Hell
And soon to be
yeah.
stranger is a friend. And if he didn't, and he can be kind of blunt. So if he didn't think it was good, he would not be saying that. So that.
I appreciate that. I like getting honest feedback.
Hmm. So just thought I'd let you know that I actually have personal knowledge of him. So so I know that he's being honest and not just blowing smoke up your ass.
Well, I
And
appreciate it.
what one reason why I thought that, even though my channel's not that big, that it might be useful to might be helpful to you, is that most of the people that would watch my channel typically are like gamers and stuff, rather than part of the comics community. So a lot of the other people who might have you on probably don't reach the same people that I tend to to reach, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's awesome because I am primarily a gamer. Like, I was always casually into comics when I was younger. I was not a regular reader. And then, like, I got into them more when I was in my early 20s, and then I kind of slacked off again. So
Hmm.
it's like I've been on and off with comics. Like, I just found it was the perfect medium for me to tell this story with.
Yeah. Oh, and Soon to Be Stranger just took care of all of those spams that I was talking about. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he's one of my, he's one of my mods. So yeah,
Lordy.
and for for myself, I didn't read comics a lot when I was growing up, but that's partially because I read really fast. So if I bought like every comic in a run, I'd have gone broke. Because yeah.
I agree.
I've typically stuck to mostly novels and the like because those at least took me a few days to read.
I agree. Like that's the thing. Like I like superheroes. Like I love them in concept, but the stories go on for so many issues that it's like I can't keep up with all that. Like,
Yeah, and after I grew up, I've got like the Marvel Unlimited where I can go back and read a lot of stuff. It's like, and that's like, where do I start? And I gotta say, a lot of the older stuff is actually is still good, but then when I see it it compared to the stuff that comes out today, you'll see what I started my pitch out for you with. What the hell are you giving us now? Because I really have only started reading comics in the last few years, and I started
yeah,
out reading some of the older stuff, and I was like, I like this stuff, and then I read the current She-Hulk and go, oh my God, what are you doing?
yeah.
So, so um,
Eesh.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with this Tennessee Johnson person. Is he claiming he did plagiarism?
I
Is this is this some sort of beef that's going on from something else?
I don't even know who that is,
Okay,
but
well,
I did plagiarize off myself.
that's the best place to plagiarize from. Well,
I'm thinking of suing myself.
Tennessee, unless you show receipts or say what the hell you're talking about, I'm just going to ignore that because, frankly, I don't really appreciate it. In false claims. I'm not saying that. I mean, I literally know nothing about this, so don't come on here and expect me to attack my guest.
I mean, I get this is a first for me. I've never been trolled before on YouTube, so it's I feel like I'm overdue.
Okay, soon to be stranger. Go take a look at my pinned comment, and be, because that is where your Kickstarter is. Because I actually made sure to pin this before this started, so you just need to look at the top of your chat window. And if for some reason you can't find it after that, it will be in the pinned comment on this live stream. And if for some reason you still have a problem, just message me. But you shouldn't
I've
need to.
noticed
So
I have noticed I think like people tend to get a little confused when it's in the description, and I don't really understand why, but it tends to happen a lot.
oh, well, I actually avoided putting it into the description because for one thing that I've been told, YouTube does not like links that go outside of YouTube in the description, and that can actually he make them not recommend your video as much. So that's why a lot of times you'll see people put those links in a pinned comment.
That makes so much sense. that explains a lot with my channel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure. It's just anecdotes from a lot of the stuff that I've listened to, but I kind of figured that I would go off of that I would go off the experience of people who've been doing this a lot longer than me.
Oh, good
So,
lord.
and hey, hamster, how's it going? So, maybe I just helped you for something you do in the future.
Yes, very much so.
By the way, I also have a master's in computer science, so I pay attention to a lot of the little technical things. So I know, even though I haven't
Nice.
been doing this for a really long time, I've been listening and watching and just kind of collating data, if that makes sense. So I know a lot more than you might expect about this shit.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
I appreciate the heck out of that because I like my family thinks I'm a computer genius because they're boomers, but you know, I am more in the dark than the average person my age.
If you don't mind me asking, how old?
33.
Ah, you're still a youngling. I'm 44. Mm.
I feel like I'm
So yeah,
21 though.
young at heart. That's always good. So yeah, let's see here. What other questions might I have? Mm, I, for the type of crime and stuff, is it mostly action and stuff, or is there much
Oh yeah.
cyber crime? Okay, mostly action.
I would say it's mostly action. I am trying to add more of a cyberpunk feel to it also because there's issues with the bad guy particularly in this issue is a cyborg and he's got like a lot of electricity coming out of him and I
Ha,
would say
nice.
he's very unhinged.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. NetDog. What the? I mean, I don't think I can be much clearer when I say that the only thing I don't allow is spam. I mean, I don't even care about insults. I wasn't going to respond to the plagiarism thing all that much, but I wouldn't kick somebody for that. But no spam. Come on. It's not that hard.
is is this a typical thing? Is this
No.
I guess I just I
Well, I
attracted the
think.
worst people.
Well, honestly, I think that this is attracting to people who don't necessarily like comic skate people. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
we're doing
frankly, I have a
that.
good amount. I have a good amount of followers who can get a little bit eh about certain things that I don't care about. So I'm imagining that we
Okay.
probably hit something like that. I love you guys, but I don't
It's
necessarily agree
funny.
with you guys.
I always thought of that stuff as like I thought that was kind of people were forgetting about that for the most part.
Oh, hell no. I mean, I know you're on Twitter. How have you missed it?
I tend not to. I don't really get mixed up in like the the fighting stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get involved in all the drama. It's like I'm trying to promote my work, and every
Yeah,
once in a while I flirt with people inappropriately.
yeah. I've seen that. For myself, I don't get involved in it, but I've got this sense of humor where I just like watching dumpster fires.
I get
So
that.
even though I don't get involved in them, I see a lot. That if you notice, I've got my name as the cat of the net. I see all. I'm everywhere. So yeah.
Lordy,
Uh,
lordy.
well, I'm not sure how much more there is to talk about at the moment, but I, I I'm finding the idea of this interesting, and it looks like at least at least a few people found it interesting, and hopefully more will see it on the replay. I actually meant to set this.
Absolutely.
I actually meant to set the stream up like a day ago to give it more time for people to notice it, but then I got busy.
It's understandable. We all got stuff going on.
Yep. Oh, and one thing that that probably doesn't matter to you, but just something that I found out while I was setting the stream up. Apparently, Rumble does not put a barrier to monetization because it actually gave me the option to do a Rumble rant without me having applied for monetization. So that's kind of cool.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
All
that
my YouTube content automatically gets uploaded to my Rumble. Like I think for the most part. I don't know if the live streams do.
I'm not sure. I really should set that up to have that happen. But most of what I do anyway is live streams. So, oh, and another cool thing for Rumble, they no longer make you po- they no longer make you make a video to attach to your live stream.
Nice.
So that's one less hurdle you need to jump over every time you want to start up a live stream, because that was a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more dual streaming between Rumble and YouTube in the near future for my gaming.
I think that's a good idea. And I do a little bit of gaming on my channel too. I don't like do a lot, but I've been doing like recently I've been doing a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas that I've been uploading.
Oh, Fallout New Vegas is a really fun one.
It's my favorite Fallout. I love it.
When you say it's your favorite Fallout, are you including Fallout 1 and 2?
I'm not.
Okay,
I was bad. I didn't play the first two. I only read the synopses.
go back and play. It's a very different experience, but it's really good. Go back. And,
I know my best
and
friend played them.
that's not enough. You need to play them. If you're go, if you're gonna judge Fallout, you need to play those. Now, what I'll say is that Fallout New Vegas was done more in the style of the story of Fallout 1 and 2. Fallout 3 was not overly. I mean, it was a fun game. Don't get me wrong, uh, but it was not. No, it didn't really follow well. Fallout New Vegas is more what Fallout is supposed to be.
I mean, I know more about the
Yes.
connections between like the fact like the super mutants in New Vegas I think are the product of the Master from Fallout 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And pretty much all of the Fallout stuff was set more on the western seaboard than the eastern
Yeah.
seaboard. So, oh, so the factions in it aren't really the same, if that makes sense. Like the
Oh
Brotherhood of
yeah.
Steel was not the same. All of that. I don't remember the exact things. I just remember being a bit annoyed when I was playing Fallout 3. It's been a while, but yeah, as long as you don't mind in a turn based basically more strategy game sort of thing, because it is definitely not a first person shooter.
I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so I'm used
Okay,
to
so yeah,
turn-based.
cool. Final Fantasy is awesome too. And yeah, soon to be a stranger. You need to fix that as well. Can I slap both of you?
I guess you have to. I mean,
Ah, dang it! I don't have a video for that. But let me see here. This will just have to do.
And everybody's okay with this? Did I miss something?
Yeah, that was from when I was reacting to Matt Walsh.
Oh God,
And yeah,
I'm
I
not
was.
a fan.
Oh yeah, the man is completely on board with Satanic Panic.
Yeah,
And all of his stuff about saying that no, I didn't really say those things. All I just said was that what all I just said was that you shouldn't play too much of the violent games. Well, guess what? If you go back and read his article, like I did, that is not what he said. He
I think
said that anything more than an hour a day is too much, and he didn't say just about violent video games. He said it about any video games, which what I pointed out was that includes friggin' Tetris.
God.
And then he generalized it out to graphic horror, and pretty much was completely on board with saying that video games caused the violent video games caused the the school shooting that Alex Jones was taken to task for. I forgot the name. Sorry.
That
But
crap. That argument's been around since GTA first came out.
oh yeah, it's been around since before then. So yeah,
And
he's completely on board with that shit, and then he tries to just say, "No, I would just say playing too much of it's bad for you." Bullshit. That's not what you
yeah,
said. You're a liar.
I don't agree with most of what he says, but like I think the thing where he really like I really didn't like him was when he was saying he thought pit bulls should be banned.
Oh
And
God.
I was like, yeah, no. Like, I've got two mixed pit bull dogs, and I love them to death. Like, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody's taking my pit bulls away.
Yeah. Recently got my new bank card after losing my wallet. Backing you is this bad boy's first purchase. Super excited. That's awesome.
I appreciate the heck out of that.
That's great to hear, soon to be stranger. So yeah, you got at the very least one sale out of this.
It all counts.
Yep, and hopefully more. So
And
yeah,
if by some bizarre reason this campaign doesn't fulfill, like if we don't reach our goal, nobody's gonna really be charged, and I'm going to be relaunching on July 1st
okay.
on Fund My Comic.
If that were to happen, make sure to let me know, and I'll send out the link too.
That's just a worst case scenario, you know, just
Oh
because
yeah, I said if.
we're, yeah, because it's like, because we've got about a week left and we're somewhere around like 34%. So I'm hoping that we're going to get that last push, but I'm preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
Yep. So yeah, and we got more of that guy. I mean,
I
to a
would
degree, I find it amusing. It's like, come on, be a little bit more creative.
you
That's
well,
all
I
I
mean,
ask.
I'm
Be,
waiting
be,
for him to use his powers to heal me.
yeah. Um, hey, maybe he can grow your hair back out.
Yes, I need that.
Yeah, heal his hair.
My hairline, it's running away like the French in World Wars.
Yeah. Oh, and since I was talking about Matt Walsh, and since this is talk about comics, I just got to say, he, Bounding into Comics wrote an article white knighting for Matt Walsh over Matt Walsh's stance on video games and stuff. I thought Bounding into Comics is supposed to be on the side of the consumer and on the side of the people that actually like comics and stuff. And I was like, okay, you guys have a rogue writer here. Let's see who wrote this article. I looked at it. You want to know who wrote the article? The founder of Bounty into Comics and the editor in chief.
Oh God.
He was white knighting from Matt Walsh over his take on media.
It appears that the holistic healer Tennessee Johnson and NetDog are the same person.
Gee, I'm so surprised. Hey, by the way, guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate the watch time you're giving me. I really do. It helps the channel grow. So, thank you, guys.
Oh, I agree. Like every time I end one of my videos, I always say, hit the like button or hit the dislike button, because whether you love me or hate me, it's feeding me.
Interaction, all interaction is good interaction. Just being here helps me. And imagine if I were actually monetized, you would be directly helping me through ad revenue, which I don't get. But if I were monetized, you'd actually be directly giving me money.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah. Okay. So I think that's most of what we got. So go check out Outlaw Nights. It looks interesting. I'm gonna look at it a little bit more. There's damn good chance that I'll back you.
Well,
No,
I appreciate the heck out of that.
no guarantees, but it looks interesting. So there's very good chance of it.
Well, thank you so much.
And I only say that because I don't really I back almost nobody. So me not necessarily isn't saying anything bad. It's more.
Oh no, I understand. Like, I haven't been able to back a book in like 2 years now because my finances have been like really tight.
Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear for the chat that wasn't any negative thing that I was saying there. So,
Totally get it.
hmm So yeah, cool. And he Senior Stranger never got a chance to use his wrench. So, well, I'm glad you got a chance to play with that. Okay, so have a good day, and I know I had a good time, so I hope you did too.
I definitely did.
Cool. Well, I will see y'all. I got some paperwork I need to do, and then a little bit later tonight, I'll probably stream some more Deus Ex. So yeah, have a good night, y'all. Oh, one thing. I didn't link his channel in the description, but if you notice in the title, it says @Fusebox. Click on that it will bring you to his channel. Because that's why I made sure to put your in there, so that people could just click there and get you. But I just realized that I hadn't said that, so yeah. My button, my finger was on the end broadcast, and that just occurred to me. Okay, see y'all. Good night.